Hi everyone, I'm April, and I have this story about how I used to steal all the time. I'm kind of a kleptomaniac, and it's not easy to live with. Despite the stuff I stole, I was deeply aware that it was not a good thing to do. And anyway, it's a crime, but it's hard to argue and negotiate with yourself. After a couple of years of stealing, I decided to stop. It was because of my friend, Tully. She's my childhood friend, aware of my mania, but never reproached me for it, for which I'm grateful. I went to visit her one day and saw an unusual Rubik's Cube on her dressing table. It was black with gold, silver, and red. I hadn't seen one before, and I wanted it badly for my favorite collection. While Tully was in the bathroom, I could do it. I've done it before. What should I do? But the thought that it belonged not to a store, not to a stranger, but Tully, was unsettling. I stroked it, held it in my hands, and then put it back. Tully came out of the bathroom and asked me what it was I wanted to share with her, and I told her that I joined the Klepto Anonymous Club. Tully was happy for me, and I immediately apologized for myself. "I'm sorry, you're having problems at home, and I'm here with my news. So tell me, is your father still not going to pay child support?" "No, but my mom got a job. I don't know exactly where, but she said she's going to clean there and mop the floors 3 times a week. So we'll get by. She brought me this cube from there. She said she found it when she was cleaning." I said goodbye to my friend and went to the first meeting. Frankly, it was exciting. A lot of strangers, and no one could not tell that he has kleptomania. Everyone spoke on a first-come, first-served basis. After the excitement, I even felt a sort of relief. Everyone there smiled warmly, and our sponsor, Gwen, was just a sweetheart. She and I chatted after the meeting, and I walked out of the office and met a familiar silhouette in the hallway. What? It was Mrs. Diggins, Tully's mom. I was so confused. I hid behind Gwen, who was walking by, and she said hello to Mrs. Diggins so loudly. She naturally stared at me, so I had to straighten up and say hello. "What are you doing here? So you're a kleptomaniac? Alcoholic? Drug addict?" No, I'm a kleptomaniac, but I'm not an alcoholic or a drug addict. It's the same thing." "What are you saying?" "Does Tully know?" "No, she doesn't know." "Good. Don't tell her. Don't upset her." "Oh, if I'd have known the consequences of our meeting, I'd have said I was a drunk." The very next day, the neighbors brought into the house small things from the yards, not allowing the children to walk near my house. And what was the worst? I couldn't even quietly go to the store. The saleswoman apparently already knew who I was too. Rumors spread quickly, and I was dubbed a thief. It doesn't matter to people whether you're a kleptomaniac or a thief, but there is a fundamental difference between these definitions. Tully couldn't help it. She apologized for her mother, and we just kept on being friends. I was really grateful for that, though. I pulled myself together and decided to call it a day. I kind of wanted a positive change in my life, and to prove to the world and myself that I could. I decided not to steal anything else. My family was proud of me, my sponsor, my group, and most importantly, Tully was proud of me. She trusted me, In my moments of withdrawal at stores, Tully was there for me. She held my hand, and then she gave me her black cube, saying, "Let it serve as a memory and symbol of the new April." It was cute, wasn't it? This served as a great motivator. I carried the cube with me everywhere and even bragged about it to Gwen. The curator showed me the swallow, a statue in the shape of a bird, but it didn't have a tail on it. It's special to me anyway. A friend of mine gave it to me and brought it back from Portugal. It's a symbol for me too, so I carry it with me, Gwen said, and put the swallow on a shelf in her office. I got a call from Tully right away, reminding me of her sister's wedding, to which I'd long been invited. I was understandably tempted to decline, but Tully said that she wanted me there, so I agreed. "Even if my mom says something against you, just don't listen," my friend told me. Mrs. Diggins changed her attitude toward me. She forbade Tully to talk to me, to invite me to visit, and if I came, she immediately hid her valuables away. Like she thought I'd steal something. Before the most important moment, when Tully was supposed to bring the rings to the young couple, she stumbled and tore her dress. My friend asked me to carry the rings for her while she changed. I couldn't refuse because time was running out. I ran into the other room and pulled out the rings and opened them in their box. Oh God, how pretty they were! So beautiful and shining so brightly. And like a thirst I felt. How much I wanted to try them on. I wanted to add them to my collection. It was as if I were hypnotized. I had only touched one of them, and Mrs. Diggins walked in. "You're at it again! Give me the rings before you steal them!" she shouted. She took the box from me. Then Tully came in and she took the accessories and we went to the newlyweds. I went to pick up the popped cube and went into the hall. I couldn't be there anymore and ran toward the exit, but the hall gasped. There were no rings inside the box. Then Mrs. Diggins yelled that I had stolen the rings. I started cursing. "It won't open! It's a cube!" I said, and opened it. The rings were in there. Can you imagine the look on the guests, Tully's face? It hurt me the most to see my friend's face. I threw the rings away and ran straight out of there into a store. It was a store I didn't know, but I'd stolen over 13 items. No one noticed. If the world thinks I'm like that, then maybe I should just be like that anyway. The only question was, who could have set me up? There was no one in the room but Tully's mom. Was it her? I got really mad and went to her work after a couple of days and asked her, "Why are you doing this to me? I didn't steal those rings. I didn't do it." "Who cares? You're a thief. You are now and always will be. I don't want Tully to get in trouble because of you." "But—" "Don't say anything. I won't listen to you." "Wait a minute. You don't understand. I'm not a thief." "I don't care. I told you. Stay away from her, okay?" She refused to talk to me, and so did Tully. My friend stopped talking to me. I was shattered. At the second meeting, Gwen came up to me and asked me what was wrong. I told her everything, and she tried to calm me down, saying I was just unlucky or someone was throwing sticks in the wheels. It happens. Some people start stealing again. Some people hate their kind. I had my swallow statue stolen. Do you happen to know who might have done it? What? And you too? Do you suspect me of it? I'm not the one who took those rings or the swallow. No, honey, I was just asking. I didn't mean anything by it. Well, what about... And you're against me, my friend, and you. I wanted to walk away, but Gwen stopped me. Write your friend a letter and hand it to her personally. Sometimes a letter helps us, and sometimes a person believes more what is written than what is said. It worked for me once. It might work for you too. And if she won't read it, she will. What makes you think that? Because everyone wants to know what's inside. While I got the letter ready, I wrapped it up and wanted to give it to her, but Tully wouldn't open it. I saw a light in the window and climbed through the tree to the second floor. I jumped in the open window, and Tully wasn't even surprised. "What are you doing here? Stealing something? This letter is for you. Just please read it and you'll understand. Why should I believe you? Just read it." Just as I was about to leave, Mrs. Diggins walked into the room. Pancake with foam in her mouth, and she yelled for me to get out of their house. But on my way out, she saw a swallow without a ponytail on the table. "That's from Portugal," I said to myself, and my friend's mother immediately told me, "Don't you dare touch it. That's my gift for Tully." She shouldn't have said that. I watched her more and more closely and realized that Mrs. Diggins wasn't such a saint after all. A day later, I caught her stealing at the gas station. She stole food and managed to steal window cleaner. She was a kleptomaniac too. Only she asked me not to tell Tully about it. And then she confessed that she wanted to steal the rings from the wedding and blame it on me. And then she asked for my forgiveness. What do you think? What should I do? Is what she did worth forgiving? And what would you do if you were me? Would you forgive or rebuke her? And what about my friend? Well, she read the letter and we kind of made up. But how do I deal with her mom? Tell me, guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Don't forget to like it, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.